I think you know what, I mentioned that earlier, but why don't we come back with the quote now?
Okay.
And I'll
close.
And I'll catch up with that. All right, Jim?
Close. They wasted that great scoring opportunity down on the 10-yard line.
If we... Okay.
Yeah, I can't believe the Chargers had to call a defensive timeout. That's just...
Well, did you see Bayless went running on the field?
Yeah, that seldom happens.
And Donald Frank came running off.
Well, Dan Henning had a couple left over at the end of the first half anyway, so...
That was weird, wasn't it?
No, not if you watch the Chargers.
But I mean, just from a fundamental standpoint, what are you taking timeouts into the locker room for? You got them, you might as well use them.
You know, take this opportunity to say hello to my sister Joanne back in Pittsburgh, who's listening to the satellite uplink. Say hi to Mom.
But the game may be controlled through Burbank.
Catch the Jimmy Johnson Show Saturday night at 6:30. Cowboys special edition with Jerry Jones Sunday morning at 11 on Channel 4. So we play.
Texas Stadium, Irving, Texas. Troy Aikman and the Cowboys facing a 3rd and 3 from the 42. Fake to Emmitt Smith. They ducked it off. He's got a man, Agee, and there's a penalty marker flying into the middle of the line. Tommy Agee has a first down, but let's check the marker.
Junior Seau made the tackle. Aikman's looking around thinking, Now, when that flag was thrown, you would think it's against the Chargers. Now, they're talking to Aikman, so that would seem to confirm it.
Holding, defense, penalties declined, first down.
Dallas fans have had little to cheer about past that first quarter, but now they have something to cheer about.
The play action pass took everybody out of position, and one thing Aikman does so well is move with that football, has great body control, is able to make a pass like that, and Agee gets as much as he can out of it. Good play, well thought out because of the over pursuit on behalf of the Chargers.
Just into the final quarter of play, Cowboys 1st and 10 from the 26. Smith, he's inside the 25-yard line. Now remember earlier we talked about Jimmy Johnson and what he told his ball club before the game began today. The key, if we're patient, we could lose this game. If we're not patient, we could lose this game in the first.
Illegal motion, offense.
First 2 quarters. If we remain patient, we have a chance to win it late in the game. They've been patient.
It's exactly what has happened.
Offense, 5 yards, still first down.
What we had there was the motion man cutting up towards the line of scrimmage too soon, and so that negated a small gain on the part of Emmitt Smith. But Jimmy Johnson said, hey, you know, he admitted to us, he's not a great team. They have a lot of draft picks stockpiled for the next couple of years, but he thinks that this team will get better and better as the season goes on.
Well, he knows he has to make trades and make changes. I mean,
well, he's good at it.
In 18 months, he's made 24 different changes.
Plenty of practice.
Quick out. Kelvin Martin.
And a penalty. And a penalty. Somebody came in there late. Was it Junior Seau?
Yes, I could see the official.
Personal foul, number 55, unnecessary roughness, 15, first down.
Last week in the final preseason game, he's ejected for fighting, and now again today, a critical penalty.
Especially in this field position. Last week against the Raiders, Seau played in 2 plays. The second play from scrimmage that he was in there, he was ejected for fighting. Now here he is coming in, spearing.
It's a late hit.
Now he's lucky in a situation like that. If it's really a flagrant spear, he could be ejected from the game again. In this case, not the thing to do. You have to pull off in a situation like that. Again, a very young guy came out after his junior year at USC.
1st and 10 from the 12-yard line. Cowboys have a chance to tie it up. Daryl Johnston banging forward. He's inside the 10. All right, we're set for an update. Let's go to Bob Costas at NFL Live. Thanks, Bob. Raider Mystique back with Art Shell at the head coach here in Dallas Cowboys, trying to tie it up. 2nd and 6 from the 8-yard line. Johnston has running room. Johnston has a touchdown. But there's a marker on the play. Hold everything. There's a penalty flag.
Holding offense, 10 yards.
Jimmy can't believe it. Can't believe it. The penalties have really hurt this club today. There's Johnson. He had clear sailing. Some great blocking, or in this case, aided by that holding penalty, obviously. But penalties have played a big part.
10 yards, it's still 2nd down.
Didn't get the number. Does it matter?
You know, this offensive line for the Cowboys has done a great job on this series until that point. They've protected Aikman. They've given him time. Of course, the play calling has gotten a little more creative with the play action and the rollouts.
The key word, momentum. Does that take steam out?
Well, you bet it does. Look at this, 2nd and forever.
16. 12:20 to play in the game. Still going with 3 wide receivers. Instead, they hand it off to A.G., who battles his way inside the 15-yard line. You could just kind of feel the emotion drop a little bit on the Cowboy side of the ball, and the fans dropped a little bit as well.
That's true. They can still get a 1st down inside the 5. Down around the 2-yard line, the Cowboys would get a 1st down. They're faced here with a 3rd and 11 for the 1st down, a 3rd and 13 for the touchdown.
What are you looking at here?
Well, they've tried the draw right there. What the Cowboys used to love under the old regime was a throwback screen in this field position. They have shown that play once. Maybe we'll see it again. What we see is a timeout.
Let's make sure before we do anything, it's too important to play. And Troy Aikman says, I'm going to go over and talk it over with Jimmy Johnson.
Again, what I mean by a throwback screen is where the quarterback would roll one way and then throw back to the receiver, who sometimes falls or rolls or whatever.
Well, the Cowboys are facing their biggest play of the game when we come back.
Can I borrow those glasses? Okay, one guy yawning in the background. Laufenberg's in. Jimmy has the headsets on. That's Babe Laufenberg, the backup quarterback. Who's the guy in front of him?
It's Alan Lowry.
Alan
Lowry.
Who's
His
that?
title?
He's really tight ends coach.
Okay.
Hey, who's that guy with the gun?
It's Hubert Alexander. He's the wide receiver coach.
They're reloading.
They're reloading. Wow, I mean, they got to kick a field goal here if they don't pick up the 1st down.
What's the good stat from the Chargers from last year? 13 of their
I got it.
games were decided by.
I got it.
Fine.
Yeah. I've got the stat. No, I've got a different thing I'm going to run. What are you going to put in? I see that. Okay. Certainly the Cowboys are going to try and change the average here. Just 4 of 11 on 3rd down conversions, and now they face a 3rd and 11 from the 13-yard line. Aikman scrambling now and forced to run out of bounds.
Leslie O'Neal with the big pressure once again as Aitman looked downfield. And that's as much as a coverage pressure as anything else, because he just looked downfield and there was nobody open.
That'll bring on Ken Willis, rookie out of Kentucky. They tell us that he gets the ball up so quickly, he's like a punter. He's a very tough man to block when he kicks the ball.
I wonder if he could swallow right now. I wonder if he's feeling the pressure.
Hey, welcome to the big leagues.
He won the job.
31-yard attempt. Out of the hole to Jay Novacek. Ken Willis adds to the Cowboys score. 31-yard field goal. They now trail 14-10. 11:26 to play in the game.
And it adds to the importance of the miss earlier in the game by Fouad Revez for the Chargers, as he missed the opportunity to put the Chargers up by a lot more. So this one's a long way from over. These teams were involved in so many close games last year.
Well, if you check the stats from last season, 13 of 16 Charger games were decided by a touchdown or less. To carry it farther, in 12 of those 13, San Diego had the lead or a chance to take the lead in the final 2 minutes. So close finishes are nothing new to the San Diego Chargers. And don't forget, tonight following the game, NBC News will present a special, The Summit in Helsinki, followed by the double feature night, Polly, starring The Cosby Show's Felicia Rashad and Keisha Knight Polium, and you're going to be there for that, aren't you, Jim?
Oh, absolutely.
I know he is Learjet home just to make sure he sees Felicia Rashad tonight. And then, what more can you ask? A Fight for Jenny, starring Miami Vice's Philip Michael Thomas and Leslie Ann Warren, and that is tonight on NBC, so be with us for that. Willis readjusting the ball on the tee.
There's plenty of time. 11:26 left to go in this fourth quarter, left in the ball game.
Anthony Miller to the top of the screen, deep, and Donald Frank to the near side. Well, the Chargers wouldn't want it to anybody better than Anthony Miller. And he carries it over the 25-yard line before he is dropped by Lester Brinkley.
Great hang time on that kickoff. There's Mark Vlasic eyeing up that situation, talking to Dan Henning. Look at the chin strap he has on. That's not a bad idea.
All right, scores from around the rest of the league now as we update you with the 10-minute ticker. Raiders, thanks to 2 defensive touchdowns, leading Denver. That would be a surprise. Atlanta just walloping Houston. The Jets have taken the lead over Cincinnati. And checking the rest of the scores, Buffalo still ahead of Indianapolis. New England leading Miami. Cleveland 10-3 over Pittsburgh in the fourth. Here we have 11:18 to play in the Chargers, 1st and 10. Joe Caravello could not hold on to the pass from Mark Vlasic. One thing you can say about Joe Caravello, he is strong. For the 3rd year in a row, he won the Pro Football Arm Wrestling Championship.
A little bit of pressure from the front line of the Dallas Cowboys. The pass a little bit underthrown, but a catchable ball. Again, earlier in the game, Vlasic was putting that ball right on the money.
Caravello may not hold on, but he'll break your arm.
Look at the chin strap of Vlasic. That's one of those old-time padded ones. Not a bad idea for a quarterback these days.
2nd and 10 from the 27. Bernstein breaks the tackle of Lockhart and dives forward for extra yardage. Rod Bernstein, 6'3", 238, first-round pick in '87, out of Texas A&M. Around these parts, they call him Aggies. Just 25 years old. 3rd and 4 from the 33. Early in motion. Vlasic has time here and finally dumps it out to Early. He's got a first down, and he's finally run out of bounds. So the former teammates at the University of Iowa, Vlasic and Early, teaming up for a first down.
Yeah, Isaac Holt overcommitted on that play. Vlasic really taking his time, as again, the pressure just wasn't there. After the initial pressure there, look at it, wide open. No thoughts of running. He was just waiting. And then Isaac Holt, I think, thought he was closer to being the out-of-bounds marker than they were. And so he tried to push Quinn Early out of bounds, and it didn't work. And Early easily picked up that first down.
20-yard gain for the Chargers. They're on the move now, 1st and 10 from the 47. 10 minutes and 20 seconds to play.
Quinn Early hurt last year, a knee problem, missed part of the season.
Derek Walker in motion. Here's the blitz. Vlasic gets, almost intercepted. Oh my. Daniel Stubbs, look what I found, and he couldn't hold on to the ball.
James Washington with the great pressure in the backfield. He was pounding his head saying, I should have had the quarterback. And then downfield, his teammate was pounding his head saying, hey, I should have had that interception, and he should have. Vlasic doesn't even see it to the last instant, gets away. Bad idea to throw that ball under that kind of pressure without really looking to see what was over there. What was over there? A Dallas Cowboy.
Daniel Stubbs was thinking goal line, was thinking 6, was thinking I should have held on to the ball.
Very creative, putting your defensive end in pass coverage.
2nd and 10 on the 47. Bernstein just dropped it. Ken Norton had him defensively.
Now that happens, with Stubbs in that last play. A great opportunity for him to come up with the big play, and you surprise the offensive line so much when you drop a guy like that off. And Bernstein's wondering about that pass right there. He has not had a terrific outing.
Vlasic as a quarterback, is he a little shaken after nearly throwing that interception?
Not Mark. He learned so much from Dan Fouts. He was with Dan for a year, Charger organization, and then he spent a couple of years just learning the system. And the one thing he told us he learned from Fouts was patience and also that quick release. Try to get the ball off, make your decisions, and live with it.
3rd and 4. This time he gets it off. And the Chargers will be short of the first down. Walter Wilson made the reception. He's dropped at the 40-yard line. Bill Bates and Ron Francis defensively for the Cowboys. But now we face that short yardage situation, 4th and 4, 4th and 3 on the 40. Do you punt or do you go for it?
In this situation, the time left on the clock, the lead up by 4, you definitely punt the ball, which is easy to say because they've already made their decision. I can look out and sound very brilliant. But no, I think in this situation, too close to midfield. Too many things can go wrong.
John Kidd is standing back on his own 45.
Now the Cowboys don't believe that it's going to be a punt. They have their defense in there, and they have set up more or less a prevent up front.
Rod Harris is deep. High kick. Harris calls for the fair catch. Could that catch the corner down there? What marvelous punt coverage. The ball batted out of the end zone. They're going to spot it on the 1-yard line.
That really is incredible.
What marvelous punt coverage. We'll take another look at it when we come back right after this. That was the play of this game.
Here's the question, though. He stepped out of bounds. He can come back and down the ball after stepping out of bounds? I assume he can. What's 24?
24 got it.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Steps out of bounds.
No, he was all right.
Now that's my question. 24.
But 27 batted it.
Yeah. But 24 is out of bounds.
But
let's see it again. That's Donald Frank batting the ball. But he took a step in the end zone. They're going to review. They have to review this.
Wow.
I'm wondering about. Get Eric in the rule book because, yeah. Look, I think they're going to check Donald Frank because the guy on the goal line was looking up in the air, not down. Watch the official. Watch the official. Go ahead. Look at Frank's left foot. And the official's looking up, not looking down at the foot.
No, it's 24. You're talking about Lester Lyles.
No.
Jim, his left foot. That's the guy that was out of bounds.
Oh, he was
24.
definitely out of bounds. I'm just wondering if Donald Frank, the guy who batted the ball out of the end zone.
I don't think he was out of bounds.
No.
Watch.
Okay. But first of all, watch number 27.
Right, watch 27. Watch. I'm watching.
Now, is his foot in the end zone? Is it on the goal line?
This is a tough angle.
Yeah, and so...
That's a tough angle.
Okay, are we going to replay on this? No.
Are they going to review it?
Are they going to review it on the field?
All right, Jim. They are reviewing it.
Here we are. Take a look at this replay. The terrific punt, but there's going to be a couple questions on this one. Donald Frank, number 27, does his left foot touch the goal line right here before he bats the ball? Is he technically in the end zone and therefore not able to bat the ball out? And look at Lester Lyles. He was out of bounds, came back in and downed it.
Now we have been told that they are reviewing this call.
And you can tell it by the reaction that the crowd just is not real happy with this call at all.
Check his foot, Jim.
Now it's hard to tell right there, but if his foot is on the goal line, Donald Frank, then he can't bat the ball back.
And now 24 is out of bounds.
24 is out of bounds and comes back in. Is he out of bounds? Can you down the ball in a situation like that? Rest assured, Jim Tunney will soon explain it to us.
Remember, we have a 2-minute limit this year. At least they're trying to review plays in 2 minutes or less.
Now, we had the situation earlier in the game where the wide receiver, as you see the replay officials there, they're trying to figure things out. Earlier in the game, a receiver went out of bounds and caught the ball. Of course, you can't do that. That's a penalty. In this situation, we're thumbing our way through the rule book.
All right, one more time. Let's look closely again. 2 questions here. First, is his foot on the goal line? And second, did the man come in from out of bounds?
Number 27, is he in the end zone or not? There's his left foot.
Well, from this angle, it looks like he's on the line.
It's hard to tell, but yes, it does look as if he's in.
And then the second question.
He's out of bounds right there. He jumps.
And the roar of the crowd you hear each time we look at the play, they're seeing it on the scoreboard in the stadium.
And the official right there spotting the ball as Donald Frank was batting it back was looking at Donald Frank's hand, not at Donald Frank's foot. So he did not have a view as to whether or not Donald Frank was in the end zone before he batted the ball.
Everybody's waiting for the verdict from our replay official.
Now they have an official time clock there. You can see the reaction. That is not one of the replay officials pumping his arm. They do not take sides. They have a clock there. They punch the clock and give themselves 2 minutes to make that decision.
And I would venture to guess that we are near that 2-minute limit.
Yes.
Here's Jim Tunney.
Thank you, Jim.
And he's waiting.
Yes.
Upon review, the play stands. First down.
A little drama for Jim as well. Jim milking his moment for a minute.
At the local, Kiwanis, they'll stop when you take the microphone. Here at the stadium, when you make an unpopular call, Jim, just talk.
Boy, what a hole the Cowboys start from. 1st and 10 from the 1. Agee banging forward.
So give credit to Donald Frank, the rookie, free agent. He learned his lesson well. He could have made it a lot simpler. When it's an uncontested play like that, the punting team can go down and catch the ball. He could have made it all a lot easier.
But let me point out also, Jim, that this is one of the inequities of the instant replay ruling, because on some games you might have 12 cameras, on some games you might have 5 cameras. They'll be positioned differently around the stadium, and you're not always going to get the same kind of angle.
So that definitely was inconclusive, as you pointed out.
2nd and 8. Clock running, 8:30 to play. It's a 14-10 ball game. The Cowboys are trailing. To throw out of his own end zone. Agee is over the 5.
But that must be a lonely feeling, being in the Cowboy pocket as the quarterback after all the pressure he has faced. And you see the Martin Bayless, the safety for the Chargers, part of that active secondary. There were 3 guys over there to help him make that tackle.
What a marvelous person Martin Bayless is. During the offseason, he oftentimes hosts free football camps for youngsters. I know he hosted one with Keith Byers in Dayton, Ohio. Another time this summer, I believe he hosted a Scholastic Achieving Camp for youth in San Diego. Always given to the community.
And the kids that were invited to the camp were the kids with the good grades. He was trying to reward them.
Nice thought. Cowboys 4 of 12 on 3rd down conversions. Oh, right in the hands of Rod Harrison. That's a bad place to hit him. Set for an update. Here's Bob Costas at NFL Live. Thanks, Bob. Our story here, San Diego leading Dallas 14-10. That's time remaining in regulation, 7:35. And it's the heavy right leg of Mike Saxon back in. Jerry Mays again deep. Good kick. Drove him back to the 42-yard line. Mays trying to get around the right side. A good block there on Bates, but Mays couldn't spring it.
You gotta love Bates. He's down there so quickly. He forced Mays to run further to the sideline, and more pursuit came. So Mays is getting a workout too, and hasn't had much success against the Cowboy punting team. Here's a great opportunity for the Chargers. Field position out near midfield. They need at least the field goal to ensure that at the very worst this game would go to overtime. Again, the time left 7:23, so there's plenty of time. I'm sure that's been the message. Pound it into them. Get the ball back. Let's get down there, at least pick up a field goal.
49-yard punt, 5-yard return. So the Chargers moving 1st and 10 from their own 48. And here's Craig McEwen checking in for Joe Caravello.
Checking in late, maybe with an audible.
Numbers on Vlasic, 15 of 28, 123 yards.
And this is something they probably scouted out. The Chargers coaches probably recognized something on that Dallas defense.
Derek Walker is in the tight end, as is Arthur Cox, and they're both on the left side. There goes McEwen to the same side. And here is Vlasic. Derek Walker couldn't haul it in. He went up for it, but couldn't come down with it. Elsewhere around the league, as we get down to the final moments of the games, first finals we have in, you've seen them before, but in case you haven't, I think Kansas City beating Minnesota like that is an indication of things to come for the Chiefs. They're going to be a good ball club this year. Joe Bugle taking his Phoenix Cardinals against the club that he was an assistant with last year, the Redskins, and coming out on the wrong end of that one. Tampa Bay surprising Detroit 38-21. Here is Vlasic giving to Bernstein. Bernstein finding room on the right side. There's a marker on the play, and Bernstein is well into Cowboy territory, but let's check that flag.
That's the kind of running, as he recognizes the play is going to be called back, but that's the kind of running that really endeared Bernstein to the coaches this summer. A lot of hip action, a lot of movement, a lot of churning.
All for naught.
Holding, 63, still 2nd down.
Yeah, it's too bad for Bernstein because a great effort. Really the first time he's had a little bit of running room, and he made the most of it. There's the two guys pulling again. Courtney Hall and Eric Floyd, the left guard, left tackle. A broken tackle at the line of scrimmage is Bernstein, a big guy. I mean, he's a tight end running out of the backfield. He'll make guys miss like that in the line of scrimmage because you don't really get a great shot in close right there. And he rambles down, but again, it was called back, so the Chargers are faced with a 2nd down and 20 on their own 38.
Clock is running, 6:50 to play. Vlasic has time. Dumps it over the middle to Bernstein.
You see Vlasic checking deep and nothing there. And he's from University of Iowa, but he was raised in Western Pennsylvania, Monaca.
A few good quarterbacks out of that area.
He was raised 6 miles from Beaver Falls, home of one of our colleagues and a guy who quarterbacked a little bit in the NFL, Joe Namath. There's Billy Joe Tolliver from Boyd, Texas,
apparently
calling the plays.
Apparently giving the signal he'll be driving the bus immediately following the game.
If you don't complete this one, Mark, you're driving.
3rd and 15 now. The Cowboys need a big defensive play here. Clock is running. We've got 6 minutes to play in regulation. Over the middle to Bernstein.
Oh, look at the gang tackling. This Cowboy defense has really risen up in the 2nd half.
Yesterday, Jimmy Johnson told us about his defense. One thing we do well, we all get to the right place at the right time, and we all show up. And if we all do that, we know we'll be in the ball game. We don't have any one outstanding player on the squad. We all have to work together as a unit, and there was a perfect example of that.
And they've done that. They call themselves a blue-collar defense, a bunch of guys who are going to work hard, work every day, work to get better, and they have in this ball game.
Now can the offense work and get back into it?
10-man front.
10-man front. The Cowboys are coming. Kidd is in punt formation. It's a fake.
Oh, my.
And they say he's down. The Chargers tried to fake it. Gary Plummer grabbed the ball. Nothing doing. Billy Bates on the hit. And Dallas takes over.
You wonder why something like that is necessary with 5:15 to go. You have the lead. Why give the ball back at midfield? The Cowboys have not been able to move the ball. You have a situation where the last time you punted it, you pinned them back at the 1-yard line. Here's a look. Plummer's number 50. The snap went to him. They expected the full rush, so they thought that Plummer had a chance. And who makes the tackle? Mr. Bates. That's a heck of a play by Bates. Heck of a play by Bates, the veteran player. And if you see, if Plummer gets by him, he's going for a long time. But no, Cowboys have the ball.
Plummer 6'2", 240, Bates 6'1", 199. He gave away 31 pounds and made the hit. On 1st and 10, Aikman has his tight end Novacek close to a first down. Clock running, 5 minutes to play in the game.
So Aikman takes some pressure off himself right there. The ball is now in Charger territory. And with the time left, 4:50, the clock ticking, 4:55, they're in a 4-down area. They can use all 4 downs now to get 10 yards is what I mean by that.
Jim, again, faking a punt in that situation, when you would think fundamentally you would want to pin them deep.
It's a brilliant call if it succeeds. If it doesn't, they're going to be talking about it all week in San Diego.
2nd and 2. The pass deflected at the line of scrimmage. Luckily, it wasn't picked off at the line of scrimmage, and that stops the clock with 4 minutes and 31 seconds to play.
Big Lee Williams, again, making his presence felt. That's why he was in the Pro Bowl again last year. Number 99, there's Bert Grossman. He's working against Nate Newton. But look at Lee Williams just get up there. You're sacrificing your body when you do that because there's no telling what's going to happen in a situation like that when you leave the ground. There's Grossman. These guys got to be getting tired.
Williams out of Bethune-Cookman, 6'5 and a half, 271.
Now we got the rookie at left corner, Donald Frank, as the Chargers go to their nickel situation.
He's working against James Dixon. The give to A.G. close.
As I said, most teams consider this to be a 4-down situation. You got the ball on the Chargers side of the field. The clock's running with 4:16 to play.
Well, they picked up 8 yards on the first play, and now on the next 2, they haven't gained a yard.
Yeah, they have to go for it. Here come the signals. That's Babe Laufenberg on the left, one of the assistant coaches in the dark pants on the right. Now Lowry calling in the plays.
But this is big. Less than 4 minutes to play. The Cowboys, 4th and 2 from the 45. They have to make it to keep the drive alive. 3 tight ends in the ball game. A.G. He's got it. Still on his feet. A.G. inside the 30-yard line. Dallas on the move. First down. He's fired up.
Boy, so is that crowd fired up. Over 42,000 fans cheering on their Cowboys. Again, great blocking on the right side. You see there. And that's one of the toughest things early in the season is to get that short yardage defense coordinated because it takes so much time. And so you have guys doing something out there in the first regular season game that they haven't practiced all that much. So the coordination there, Vency Glenn just gets bounced out of the way. Gil Bird should be up there sooner. This is a short yardage play. What are you doing way back there? And so things like that happen in situations like this early in the season when a team doesn't have a lot of preparation.
17-yard pickup. The Cowboys with 2:57 to play are now on the San Diego 29-yard line. And tonight, following the game, don't forget the NBC News special, The Summit in Helsinki, followed by the double feature night, Holly, starring The Cosby Show's Felicia Rashad, and then don't forget A Fight for Jenny, starring Miami Vice's Philip Michael Thomas and Leslie Ann Warren. All of that only tonight on NBC.
I'm setting the VCR.
You'd better. Now, the kids are in school, football is in the air, and tomorrow night on NBC, the premiere of the show the critics say is the best of the new season. It is called The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, followed by the always dramatic preview of Ferris Bueller. Tomorrow night on NBC. Why ever switch the dub?
Again, you stumped me.
And as long as they continue to pay us, we'll always say, why ever switch the dub? NBC, the place to be this fall.
There is a development on the sidelines. Billy Joe Tolliver warming up for the Chargers.
Now, we talked about the first half, how each club wasted the opportunity to use timeouts. The Cowboys have only 1 remaining now.
Yeah. Of course, the Chargers wasted one with their defense. The thing with Tolliver is he's more of a home run thrower. You know, he can really, with the strong arm, he can maybe be the guy to put in there if you're behind in a situation with not much time left, if you really want to air it out downfield.
That's the story. Cowboys 1st and 10 from the 29. 3 wide receivers in the game. But it goes to Agee, who bangs near the 25-yard line. Leslie O'Neal made the hit.
Agee, one of the great stories from this ball game, in that a guy coming into this ball game in his 3rd year in the National Football League, he had played for Seattle, played for Kansas City, and twice now a Plan B free agent. Had carried the ball 5 times, or 2 times for 5 yards, a 2.5-yard average, and already he's carried it a dozen times for nearly 60 yards.
Clock running, 2:25 to play. 2nd and 6 from the 25. 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. But they come to the near side to kill the Martin. Martin is out of bounds, short of the goal line. Out of bounds at the 1.
Here's the replay. Again, a beautifully thrown ball. Donald Frank, the rookie, overcommitted, thought he had something, not realizing that Aikman had put that much air under it. A terrific pass and catch.
2 minutes, 13 seconds to play. 1st and goal. Agee. No. Lee Williams on the hit. That brings us to the 2-minute warning, but let's look back at that pass one other time.
Again, Aikman put the ball right on the money. It's the 2nd time this game he has completely befuddled the Charger defenders. Look at Donald Frank, the rookie, right there. Vency Glenn luckily was in position to make the tackle. Great effort by Aikman.
If you're a fan of either team, you're nervous with 2 minutes to play.
Good recovery.
If you're a fan of either team, you're nervous. Wow.
What's the stat on the Cowboys? We have a stat on the Cowboys' close games last year. Aikman. Hey, Jeff.
Cardiac Cowboys. Wow.
Great job on the graphic with Jimmy Johnson's words from yesterday. Is that not the case, huh? Hey, Agee's a great story. So you have 12 carries, 13 carries for 60 yards?
It's Gogan, right?
We have Agee. 13 for 59. 14 for 59 we have up here. ...14 consecutive home losses. NFL record in jeopardy.
We don't need to, we'll just mention it somewhere. Chargers have 2 timeouts, right? Chargers have 2 timeouts, and the Cowboys 1. Okay.
That's correct.
2 minutes to play, and 1 yard separates the Cowboys from taking the lead.
And 2 minutes and a touchdown away from possibly Troy Aikman's first win as a starting quarterback, and for that man, only his 2nd win as head coach.
Cowboys have dropped 14 in a row at home.
Big story today is Agee. 13 carries, 59 yards. He may get the ball here again.
Fans on their feet on 2nd and goal. Yes, touchdown.
Take a look at Jimmy Johnson's reaction after Troy Aikman dives in for that touchdown. Touchdown? Touchdown? You betcha. Oh, I knew it all along. Yeah, no problem. We had these guys from the get-go.
Willis tacks on the extra point. The Cowboys have taken the lead with 1 minute and 58 seconds to play. Now, the question on the Charger bench.
Riding to the rescue out of Boyd, Texas, by way of Texas Tech. Billy Joe Tolliver is warmed up. He's on the phones now. There's Dan Henning talking with, in the dark jersey, that's Ed White, former player, Charlie Joyner with the hat. And he has to be wondering, why, oh why, ever try a fake punt in a situation that we did?
Well, as you said, if it works, you're a hero.
Brilliant.
But if it doesn't work, take another look at the score.
How fitting that Aikman would score it. So much pressure on this guy. Last year he held up so well, going 0-11 as a starter for the Cowboys. Imagine that. The first rookie to start the season for the Cowboys since 1969, and a legend named Roger Staubach. And so he came into a pressure cooker situation like that, having on a team that had fired a legend in Tom Landry, a guy who was inducted in the National Football Hall of Fame this summer. All that pressure came down on number 8 shoulders. And here he dives in after that scoring drive of 8 plays, 53 yards. And again, it was only 53 yards because the Chargers elected to fake the punt.
Aikman paid it off, and the Cowboys have the lead. 1 minute and 58 to play. Back deep for San Diego, Nate Lewis and Donald Frank. The kick of Willis. It's going to be Nate Lewis on the 8. Finds a little room close to the 35-yard line before he stopped. Chargers have 2 timeouts remaining in the football.
And remember, they wasted one on defense, on the defensive unit. So only 2 timeouts with 1 minute 53, and there is a change at quarterback.
We haven't seen him all day, but on this final series for the Chargers, we do. Billy Joe Tolliver stepping up to the line of scrimmage. Tolliver, the man with the big arm. He can really fire deep.
He did this a lot last season. He'd come in and really excite everybody in that offense. And obviously Dan Henning has a lot of confidence in Tolliver.
From the 35, Harmon in motion. Tolliver. Incomplete to McEwen. It's been a long time coming, but the Dallas Cowboys are about to do something they haven't accomplished since September 25th of 1988. The Cowboys winning at home against the Atlanta Falcons. The key play here into the end zone. The Dallas Cowboys trying to break a long winless streak.
An NFL record, 14 consecutive home losses for the Dallas Cowboys here at Texas Stadium. There's a guy who was there.
Billy Bates, and today the fans on their feet. Tolliver back on second down, and he's sacked. He's sacked. And what a long time it's been for this crowd.
They're acting as a 12th man now. That was a team meeting for the defensive line. Hey guys, we'll meet at the quarterback. Last one there buys the drinks.
The Chargers with 2 timeouts are going without a huddle on 3rd and 22. Middle screen to Harmon. Jim, I've got to ask you a question. You bring in a quarterback.
Yeah, they're calling a timeout now, Fred.
Let me ask you something. You bring in a quarterback that hasn't played the entire game.
Right.
You put him in a situation where he has to throw deep. He gets sacked. Wait, we've got to take a break. Stay with us now. We'll come back and talk more about this in Texas. Hey, Jeff? Jeff? Hey, Jeff, let us come back and finish what we were talking about. We will. When they get the ball back, let's go to that. Let us finish this thing. Because, I mean, this is ridiculous. On 3rd and 22, they don't even take a huddle or call a timeout? All right, let me pick this up. Jim, just to pick up the thought, you bring in a new quarterback, you're forced into a situation where you throw long. It's 3rd and 22. You have 2 timeouts left, and you go with a no-huddle offense?
Yeah, especially after that sack. It's a situation where you need to settle your quarterback down and you compose yourself. You have 3rd and forever, and they went with a middle screen and picked up some good yardage, but still.
But on the biggest play of the game?
It leaves them with 1 timeout, Fred. That's the plus side of it. They're left with 1 timeout now if they can pick up the 4th down, and they have a 4th and 20 on their own 25.
Chargers are 0 for 2 on 4th down conversions. They only have 2 first downs in the entire second half. This is the ball game. Tolliver, long ball. What could the thinking have been on the Chargers sideline?
Imagine the thinking on the other side, though. There's Troy Aikman, and Tolliver was going to Anthony Miller the whole way on that 4th down play. Just no chance. No riding off into the sunset in this one for Billy Joe. But the Cowboys exuberant on their sidelines.
Still a minute 8 to play, though. Still a minute 8 to play.
Well, the Chargers can only stop the clock once. And so you're going to see a series of, for Cowboys fans, a sight they haven't seen in a long time. And that is the quarterback taking the snap and kneeling down. Chargers will use their final timeout. But this baby's over.
How sweet it is for 2 former teammates from 1964, both sporting natty hairdos.
I like it.
Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. When they undertook this project last year, they knew it was going to take time to build. The one thing they did know for sure this year, it wasn't going to be as bad again. And for that man, Jimmy Johnson, it's been a long time coming, winning at Texas Stadium.
You imagine the offseason he had? I bet he couldn't wait for this day to happen. Having to endure that 1-15, replacing the legend Tom Landry, he finally leads this team to a victory. Troy Aikman again dropping to a knee. What a great feeling for that young quarterback.
Tommy Agee celebrating.
Agee, one of the heroes. Listen to the crowd.
And on the field, the celebration has begun. The Dallas Cowboys have ended the drought thanks to a last quarter score and a questionable decision by the Chargers special teams division. The Cowboys were able to come from behind and knock off San Diego 17-14. The final again, 17-14. The Cowboys. Coming up next, NBC Sunday night lineup begins with an NBC News special, The Summit in Helsinki, followed by prime time action, the doubleheader movie Polly and a Fight for Jenny. For Jim Laslovic, Fred Rogan, so long from Dallas.
Jeff, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for the help.
Hey.
All right. Talk to you.
Guys,